Time now for a look at your week ahead. On Tuesday, the organization Walk a Mile in Their Shoes is hosting a press conference to release its report on Maine's child welfare system. The report contains suggestions for improving how the Department of Health and Human Services supports caseworkers and foster parents and children. This comes after a recent report was released detailing the shortcomings of Maine's Child Protective Services, and Department Commissioner Jean Lambrou testified in response. This event will be held in the Hall of Flags at the Maine State House at 11, and founder and former lawmaker Bill Diamond will be speaking, as well as several other stakeholders and supporters. Also on Tuesday, the city of Lewiston will have a runoff election to see who will become the next mayor. While 4 candidates ran on election day last month, this vote will be between incumbent Mayor Carl Shaleen and former Maine legislator John Connor. Neither candidate received the necessary 50% of votes to win that night, so Shaleen and Connor received the most votes last month, leading to this week's runoff election. If you have any questions about the election process, you can call the city clerk's office at 207-513-3124. On Thursday, there will be a meeting for the commission investigating the way officials handled the Lewiston mass shooting. Group members met for the first time last month discussing documents they'd like to see. Commission members say their goal is to have a written public report within 6 months detailing law enforcement's response before, during, and after the shootings. You'll be able to watch the meeting on the legislature's committee room website. You can find that at legislature.maine.gov. Well, if you were on the slopes of Sunday River today, you may have run into a few jolly faces. It's all part of an event to raise money for a local nonprofit. We'll have the details right after this.
And I'm tracking one storm with 2 types of weather. Find out how much rain and snow is coming in the forecast in a few minutes.
All right, before we get to Jason, check this out. It's the annual tradition, Santa on the Slopes. More than 300 skiers and snowboarders dressed up as St. Nick today at Sunday River. Each Santa got a lift ticket for the day and another lift ticket that can be used before Christmas Eve. Not only is it a festive and fun day at the mountain, but the event raised $8,000 for the River Fund Maine organization. The nonprofit is dedicated to creating a strong local economy by investing in education and utilizing recreation areas. Well, Jason, it seems like it was a pretty good day to hit the slopes, but we're tracking this rain and wind, and as you said, it could really lead to a messy commute tomorrow.
Yeah, things have changed dramatically from about 8-10 hours ago, Sam, where things were clear. There was obviously plenty of snow going on Sunday River, at least the man-made version. Well, how about the rain now? The entire state covered in green, and down to the south in the mid-Atlantic, it is raining heavily, and yes, in Delaware, even heavier than that. So let's take a look at what's happening here. Water vapor imagery, this white you see here, that's the moisture coming up from the south. I want to go all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Here, this color orange is dry, and out ahead of that is the cold front. And what's happening is the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, so semi-tropical, is coming all the way up to Maine, up the eastern seaboard right now, and it is just wide open. The faucet is open. So what that means for us, as this warm front's going to push north and get rid of the fog, cold front draped to our south, and the moisture is just going to be wide open. Once we get to the warm sector in between the warm front and the cold front, you're going to have just tons of moisture, as you see in the hour-by-hour forecast. So the rain is going to get heavier. And notice it's raining in 37 degrees in Rangeley at 7 o'clock. Not snowing there yet. Eventually it will. But really, I want to focus in on the yellows and the reds popping up down east, capital region. Yes, at 9 o'clock, raining heavily. And this is not even the heaviest yet. So what happens is a cold front is going to set up right around here, a coastal front, okay? And that's going to be the focus mechanism for where the heaviest rain is going to be. It's also where we're going to have the highest wind. So what you need is the wind. Think about like a low-flying plane in the sky coming down low and you're getting a kind of a gust of wind. You need that heavy rain to kind of push that wind down to the ground level. And that's going to happen from the cold front east. West of that, it's not going to be windy at all. What will be west of that is heavy snow, Coos County, New Hampshire, Rangeley, Greenville, and even up in Caribou eventually. 3 o'clock in the morning, you're probably not awake yet, but by 5 or 6 you are, and that means here's your morning commute. I mean, this is just a full south wind coming on shore. All of the moisture being wrung out over that cold front, which is not going to move that much. But by 7 o'clock, here's where the front is, offshore into Penobscot Bay right there. Here's Blue Hill, Ellsworth. And then here's the front. This is where my concern is going to be, not just the heavy rain, but also the wind. Okay, that's going to be the big problem throughout the day, Monday morning. And look at the snow coming down, potentially even to Lewiston, middle of the day, as the storm pulls that cold air down. Snow is going to pull all the way down that cold air. So rainfall ending Monday afternoon or so, 3 to 4 inches. And I'm very concerned with the capital region, the Kennebec River Valley, where right now moderate flooding is in the forecast, even at river level. Streams and creeks are going to have big problems there too. Snow, I have updated things from yesterday and pulled the snow down with the colder air coming in sooner. So Jackman, Rangeley, 6 to 12, 3 to 6 south of that, foothills, western mountains, and 1 to 3 with about a trace to 1 just outside of Sanford. Now the wind, once again, most concerning here down east, and especially the down east coastline. Bar Harbor is going to get up around 60, 65. Could even see hurricane force right along the immediate coastline here of Washington and Hancock counties as we get into Monday. And that's a lot of wind. So seas close to 20 feet and obviously talking about a lot of wind. Power outage threat there. And then a Monday night kind of flash freeze going on when this storm pulls through. So we're going to watch out for that too up north. But the rising streams, the flash flooding, a difficult commute Monday. No, the storm will not go down in the record books for Maine, but it will be very impactful, especially happening from Monday morning and a Monday kind of midday commute if you're going out for lunch. Now, seas, they are building to 19 feet, and this is mostly around the Casco Bay region, up around, you could say, definitely down east. It's going to be even worse than that, around 20. Rain and wind ends Monday, and it ends quickly Monday night. So Tuesday it's sunny, Wednesday a few clouds up in the 40s. We clear out Thursday. It's a cold day. Do not get near freezing. And then we're back to 40, which at this point, 40 kind of feels like borderline spring. And speaking of spring, this storm that's coming through right now, Sam, feels a lot more like a spring storm with the flooding, with the snow melt, than it does a kind of mid-December storm. Would you agree?
Right, no, exactly. And to that point, Jason, we did hear from Central Maine Power about an hour or so ago. Their crews are ready to respond to those power outages. And another reminder to our viewers at home, they can't go up in those bucket trucks when the wind hits 30 miles an hour plus. So could be a few more extra hours in the dark if those winds really pick up along the coast, Jason.
Yes, and new information coming in at 11, actually after football right here.
All right, Jason, thank you.